Let me share my screen once. Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the previous class on Wednesday on Wednesday, I think we have seen what are the different stages that are involved in review process. Review process is nothing but a kind of static testing, okay, where we go through the documents, analyze the errors or defects or any changes needed in the document, and we have seen different stages, what happens in the formal review meeting, and how each stages go, and who all are involved in the review meeting. All those things we have covered in the previous session, and then we have seen the major differences between verification and validation, and then we have started looking into the V model, where we have seen it's a kind of methodology where the developer team will be the bridge to establish the communication between the two stages, like verification and validation. Okay, here on one side of the branch we will be doing the verification, which is just the static testing. On the other side of the we will be doing the validation, which is called the dynamic testing or the actual software testing of the application. Okay, so then now today we will be seeing few the leftover two testing types from functional branch. We will be starting non-functional if possible today, or else we will be starting from Monday. Yeah. So let's see what is functional testing mainly. What things come under functional testing? Sorry, what is regression testing for today? So what all things are being included in regression testing and why it is called regression? We'll see those things, and then after this we will try to learn how to write a test case, or how a test case can be developed, manual test case can be developed if we have the requirement with us. Yeah, we will see all those things. Okay, so now talking about functional testing, the definition of functional testing again, it is just the process of verifying or validating the functionality of a module or a system as a whole as per the functional specification document. So functional specification document, it is nothing but another synonym for requirement specification document. Okay? So requirement specification document, functional specification, or else let's say requirements document, all these names are same. All these are the similar document which will be giving us the requirements, or which will be telling us about the requirements which have to be tested in that particular application. So it's the functional testing document or the functional specification document will be very simple. There will be have a list of requirements where we will understand each requirement, write a test case for each requirement, and wherein we keep some verification steps in the test cases, and then we write the entire test case for that particular module or for that particular entire system. Then we will do the testing, and the execution phase will begin. All those things come into the picture. We'll see the stages of execution also, what happens in execution and how do we carry out the execution, and post activities of execution. All those things we will see in the coming slides, but for today let's focus on regression testing. So coming to regression testing under functional testing, let's say in a practical scenario, our application has started. Every application starts from initial release, initial build. Okay, so it will start from first release, and it will go to second, third, fourth. It will go into some releases or builds. Okay, let's say in the first release we were having 10 functionalities. Okay, 10 functionalities as in they can be home, logout, settings, profile, all those things. Okay, in the second release, two new features were added. Okay, only two new features were added, and by the end of second release, or the after the second build is completed, we were having total 12 functionalities in our software, in our application. Out of those 12 functionalities, 10 are the old functionalities which were from release 1, or which were from the previous build. Two functionalities are from the new build. Okay, so those two functionalities which we have to test in this particular build, in the latest build, they will be considered as the functional test cases, or they will be called as the integration testing, or they will be called as system integration testing. Some they will be falling under those kind of testing phases. But instead, if we are testing something which is from the old release, that means In the old release, in release 1, we have already tested those 10 functionalities. We have tested them, we have seen the output results, and we have documented everything is completed. But now, even in the second release, though there are only two new functionalities, we will be doing the fresh testing or the fresh set of testing for those two functionalities. And apart from that, whatever functionalities we have in the previous release, that functionalities also we will do the testing again. So here we are just testing those functionalities because whatever those two functionalities are introduced into the application, that two functionalities should not disturb this entire 10 functionalities which were from the previous release. We need to ensure that, like if we are bringing something new, we should make sure that the existing things are not disturbed, the existing functionalities are not disturbed. For that reason, we do regression testing. So when we are asked to do the regression testing for the second release, we will connect with the developer. We will ask him what all functionalities from release 1 you want us to test. If he says we have to test all the 10 functionalities, yeah, then we will test the entire software again, including both old and new. So if developer says don't test all the 10 functionalities from release 1, just test 3 or 4 functionalities. We will ask him what are those 3 functionalities, and he will give us the result list, what all functionalities have to be tested in release 2 along with new functionalities. Then we will collect all those details, and based on that discussion with the developer or that discussion with the business analyst, we will set scope for those functionalities which are needed to be tested. So if my count is around 7 or 8 functionalities, both including old and new, then it will be we will be writing test cases for those 8 or 7 functionalities. And here we have an advantage. Whatever test cases we have or whatever test cases we have written in release 1, we can reuse them in our second release testing. We can reuse them in our what to say in our testing cycle when we are doing the testing for build 2. Okay. So before we go through the slide, till now, is anyone having any questions regarding what's happening with the regression testing or why regression testing is needed? I have explained the real-time scenario or the real-time given the real-time understanding of regression testing. Before we get into the slide, let me know. We will take a pause here and we will discuss them and we'll proceed into the slide. Okay. Any questions, Shraddha, Richa,
No, sir.
Sally? Okay, fine.
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay, done. So let's have a walkthrough through the slide. Regression testing. Changes, enhancements made in the system are not impacting the previous working functionality. So whatever I have said, like if we are bringing some changes or bringing some enhancements into into the application, into the software, that should not impact the previously working functionalities. For that reason, we do regression testing. It is applicable to all levels of software testing, like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. Correct. Because if we introduce a new functionality into the application, we need to do the test unit testing for all the remaining old functionalities also, all the remaining previous functionalities also. It happens for the same phase. Integration testing will also be done in the same way. But when we do regression testing, we will keep the test case names in a different format. Like if we are testing it for the first time, then we will write functional at the starting of the test case name. If we are doing the regression of the same at the same level, like if we are doing unit testing and we are doing the unit testing for the old functionalities, then we will be mentioning regression at the beginning of the test case name. So this difference we show it in the name of test cases, and we will be maintaining separate suits. Like separate suits, just assume that we will be maintaining separate folders. Regression test cases will be in one folder. The fresh test cases or the new functional test cases will be in the different folder. And it is the same for all the phases, all the levels of testing. Okay. Good regression tester need to be aware of what all features to be focused on any change in the software application. Yes. So if we are going for regression test cases, we need to make sure which functionality or which change can be impacting the old functionalities or can be impacting the previous functionalities. That should be known by the regression tester. Then he might have a better idea, and then he can update or modify the test cases according to the understanding that he has got. Okay. Not impacting the unchanged part of the component. Yes. How can we know that nothing is impacted after nothing is impacted on the unchanged part. Means, how can we ensure that nothing is disturbed or nothing is affected in the old functionalities? By doing regression testing. Only if we do regression testing, then only we can know that the unchanged part of the application is not disturbed or not impacted. Correct? That is the sole purpose of regression testing. Regression testing is required when change in requirement and code is modified according to the requirement. Okay. So when in release 1 we have completed the testing and we have moved to release 2, and in release 2 we are doing the testing. In release 2 there are no new functionalities, like they have not included any new functionalities, but there were changes in the requirements document. Like one functionality has been updated, and the developing team or the coder has changed its code. So after changing that, after bringing that change into the application or into that functionality, then again we need to test the remaining functionalities are working fine or not, or whether they are getting affected by this new change that has been brought up. That has to be tested. That testing entirely is called regression testing. Okay. New feature is added to the software, defect fixing. Yes. Like, let's say if in the same release itself, or in the if the release is very huge, or if the release is having uh, 300 to 400 test cases, okay, and there were some defects, and after the defects have got fixed or after the bugs have got fixed, then again we will do a small kind of regression testing to ensure that after the defect got fixed, are any other functionalities being disturbed or not. In simple terms, defect is resolved, but we need to make sure out of those 300 functionalities or 300 functionalities, any one functionality is getting impacted or not. So in the same release also, we will do regression testing sometimes if our application is huge or if our scope is very huge. Okay. So that's again where we need regression testing and performance issue fix. Similar to the defect fixing also, if there is an performance issue fixed, and how we might not know how the issue has been fixed. Like whatever the developer had made those changes, we might not know how they did it or how what happened in the backend. So again, we need to make sure we will pick up some 50 to 60 functionalities in out of those 300 functionalities, and we will do a small regression suit testing for those functionalities in order to ensure that the issue which got fixed has not disturbed the other functionalities in the same release. Sometimes we can keep the regression suit in the same test itself, and the regression suit, it doesn't have the count. We will be doing that regression again and again for all the releases. Like if we go into release 10, even in release 10 we will be testing, or we will be doing the uh, we will be verifying the functionality which are from release 1 also. That's kind of regression testing. But even if we do in the same release, when the application scope is huge, then also we can bring regression testing into the picture, just to make, or just to be ensured that any issues that have been fixed are not affecting the existing functionalities and the working functionalities. Okay. Challenges in regression testing: minimizing test suite while achieving maximum test coverage remains a challenge. Yes, because if we are going into the release 10, and if we want to verify the functionalities which are in release 1, release 2, release 3, the regression suite will be getting bigger and bigger as the releases increase, right? So we cannot club, or we cannot merge those test cases, because they are all from different releases, and the author, whoever has written the test cases, they might be different for each and every release. Okay. So minimizing test suite, like, test suite is nothing but a folder containing test cases. Correct? It can be regression suite, it can be functional suite, it can be anything. Just assume that it is a simple folder where we keep the entire test cases, or where we store our test cases. So minimizing test suite while achieving maximum test coverage remains a challenge, because if the test cases are increasing, we cannot minimize the test suite. We cannot control the count of test cases as the releases go on increasing. Regression test suite is large. Yes. So selecting proper regression suite is important. Yes. Regression test suite usually is very vast. It will be increasing by release. The number of test cases in regression suite will keep on increasing. So we need to make sure which regression suite has to be discarded, or we need to come up with a strategy or agenda where we can select the best regression suite which can be, which is valid or which has to be tested. We can sometimes remove some regression test cases by after communicating with the client, or after talking to the business analyst, or after talking to the technical reviewer, anyone technical person from that application owner side or stakeholder side. Then we can remove few test cases by discussing with them, and we can convey this to our test manager or delivery manager, and then we can remove those test cases if it is not actually needed. Like if it is not having issues, or if it is not having any bugs from any releases, then we can remove those test cases from the regression suite. Okay. Then coming to the next method, retesting. This is also a testing which is in the functional phase only, which is in the functional branch only. Okay. This is a simple testing. Retesting, by its word, you can understand. We will do the testing twice, or we will do the testing again. Okay. After a defect is detected and fixed, the software should be retested to confirm that the original defect has been successfully removed or not. This is called confirmation testing or retesting. This is very simple. See, we are testing login functionality, and when we have tested for the first time, we have seen there is a defect, and we will send that defect to the developer. We will ask the developer to fix that functionality, and once he has given a heads up saying that the functionality is fixed, then we need to again test the same one. Again, we need to execute, or again we need to test the same functionality. If we are testing the same functionality after the bug or the defect is fixed, then it is called retesting or confirmation testing. Simple term, not much to focus about. Yeah. So just retesting is nothing but if we want to do the testing after the defect has been fixed, whether we need to ensure, right, before going into formal execution, we need to ensure that the bug has been completely fixed or not. That's called retesting. And then let's see how to write a sample test case. Okay. Before we start writing a sample test case, or before we see why do we need to write a test case, just let me know if you have any questions till now. We can discuss them, and we can see how to write a manual test case and what all things are necessary for a manual test case. Okay. Any questions from the participants? Are we good here?
Yes, sir. No question.
Okay.
No
Fine.
questions, sir.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So why do we need test case? So let's say we have a requirement, or let's say we are given some requirements from our business team, whoever has given us the project. They will be providing us with some requirement specification document or functional specification document. And after looking at that document, let's say they are asking us to test this application called sure. Yeah. So there, I will increase its zoom percentage. Sir, so the business team are asking, I have given some requirements to us. They're asking us to test this particular application called Demo Web Shop, and they will give us a requirement in this format. I'm just writing a sample requirement. Okay, how it will be and how a requirement looks, or what is the structure of requirement. Okay, so let's say they are asking us to verify. Let's start with login. Okay, so the functionality or the requirement will be specified to us like this: to verify to verify login verify login functionality of which application? Demo web shop. and they will also provide us the URL for this, which is this particular URL. And then this is a verify login functionality of demo web shop. And then in that functionality only, if I enter and click on login, we can again have a sub requirement in this login functionality, nothing like something like user should be reviewer is able to see a error message when given wrong email or wrong email, correct. What is that message? This is this message. Okay, so I will write it here. Yeah, when given wrong email. And again in the next set I will write user is able to see a error message. Okay, if I entered wrong details, like if I entered something like wrong password, and if I click on login, this is a error message that user should be seeing when incorrect credentials are entered. When incorrect credentials are entered. Okay, so this is an requirement. Okay, this entire thing, this entire content is called one requirement. Okay, uh, let's take a pause here. Just give me 15 minutes. I will jump back into the call. You can have you can pause for 15 minutes. I will ping you in the group. You can rejoin again. Yeah, or else you can stay in the call. It's fine. Um, get back after 15 minutes of break. Okay, is that fine?
Okay.
Yeah.